it's still 9:30 in the morning. So I decide to go to a nearest mall just to unwind myself. Along the way, my phone rings. Yeah, it's my high school classmate, Wilvin Antonero. I immediately park my car at the roadside and answer the call. Actually, he owns many shipping lines in the Philippines, including famous fast crafts such as Supercat and Starcraft. He calls me to inform that my flight is scheduled at exactly 10:30 in the morning. He personally chose that flight because he wanted to accompany me while going to the Philippines. This makes me more excited with my journey back home. It is departure time. I take my suitcase, stand up, and walk towards the boarding gate. I looked at the skies for me not to be recognized by my fans because I really wanted to have a normal life in my journey to my homeland. As I queue, I feel the excitement of being back in the Philippines to see my homeland once again. Once and for all, my mind leaves the realm of truth and discerns the different things that would happen exactly 12 hours from now. I was brought back into the real world when the stewardess triggered my attention. Sir, excuse me, may I have your ticket please? I apologize for what happened. Then I rushed inside the plane to look for my seat. As the aircraft being taxied to New York International Airport's runway, I hear a familiar voice from the Philippine Airlines. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome on board to the Philippine Airlines flight PR-143. Bound to Cebu, Philippines, this is Captain Mackenzie de la Cruz. I wonder if the pilot was my high school classmate. Then, someone taps me, and to my surprise, it's my long-lost friend, Wilvin Antonero. Along the way, he told me about some of my high school teachers. Mama Fe, our advisor, became an endorser of Slenda after Valerie Concepcion got married. She is known of being an advocate of a healthy living. Sir Dean owns a company that caters and organizes international events. He also founded a charity foundation for the homeless handsome children. Sir Mariel works with Ryan Kayamyap and Gary Valenciano in religious concerts in the Philippines. Sir Alfred retired early from teaching. He already had a 5-star restaurant after winning in sweepstakes. I am pleased to know the lives of my teachers. Momentarily, after 12 hours of journey, I arrived at Mactan Cebu International Airport. And it gives me a tremble to feel the cool ambience of Cebu's nightlife. I immediately look for a taxi cab. After a couple of minutes of waiting for a taxi, finally someone offers his taxi. As I ride in his cab, I notice a familiar face. What the? The taxi driver is no other than Jovan Cardona. My feelings are mixed. I'm happy because finally I see a classmate of mine, but a half part of me feels sad. I won't explain more why I feel sad for her. I thought all of my classmates are successful in their respective careers. I heard a cough-like sound coming from the driver. Maybe the driver, who happens to be Jovan himself, feels some awkwardness towards me. While on the way to my home place, he starts sharing about his life, and to my surprise, this man is not just a taxi driver, but an owner of all the airport taxis in the Philippines. He monopolizes a taxi company. He further says that driving a taxi is just his pastime. Wow, this man is a big time. Nahiya naman ako sa sarili ko. When I get home, I see my nephews watching TV. They are watching the Ellen DeGeneres show. I am not astounded at the show, but dazed at the handsome guy in his fine-looking chef uniform because he is so recognizable. That's Dave Martin Salvador, my classmate in high school. I learned from the show that he is now an executive chef of the royal family in England. I couldn't help myself but shed in tears for my classmate as a famous and world-class chef now. My family prepares something for my homecoming. I thought it was just a small gathering, but I am blown away. The party is prepared by a world-class event organizer, Shama Gonzaga. She organizes concerts like Lady Gaga and Katy Perry's international tours. I learned from her that she is the first lady of Cebu City after marrying the Cebu City Mayor, Gary Gabriel. is going to reach the stars in his political career. From the provincial capital to the Senate, then soon to Malacanang, Gary Gonzalez as the President of the Philippines? Why not? She further elaborates that her husband Gary is also a medical doctor. The homecoming party was incredibly successful. It is really heartwarming to see my loved ones, especially my families and friends. As the next day starts, I make up my mind from difficulties of life for a while to throw some cash and checks, so I decide to watch a Filipino movie. On my way to SM Guadalupe, the world's largest mall on earth, co-owned by a Mayan businessman, Francis Beneritiro, I feel the Philippine trademark, which is the heavy traffic. Who would have thought that I miss being stuck in a traffic jam? Instead of being pissed off about the situation, I just managed myself to be calm and enjoy the ride. As I go through along V. Rama Street, I notice a big crowd encircling the whole road. Out of curiosity, I asked a woman standing beside my car of what is happening, why there are many people there. Instead of giving me an answer, she shouts like crazy, and I've just realized that I forgot to wear a disguise. Quickly, I get out of my car wearing my disguise and walk towards the crowd. There and then, I see a pregnant woman wearing a dirty old duster who has some bloodstains in her legs. As a medical practitioner, my instincts brings me to the pregnant woman. I really wanted to help her. When I'm about to reach her, I notice that the pregnant woman is none other than Gia Bardon. I immediately call her name and start calling for help. I really don't understand why the people are just staring at me and start laughing. Then I heard a thunder-like shout saying, "Cut!" I really thought it was all true, but it turns out that it was just a shooting. After realizing that incident, Gia explains that she is currently doing a movie together with the award-winning actor Jaren Cardente, who happens to be the three-time Oscars Best Actor awardee. She further elaborates that Jaren is her real-life partner. In fact, they already have 3 children. She adds that she also hailed as the best actress in the remake of all-time favorite film, Titanic, after playing the role of Rose Bukato. After several minutes of chit-chatting, I've been introduced to her. After all those undertakings, I make up my mind not to watch a movie anymore, but instead, I decide to go to Guadalupe Church to pray and give thanks to God. I'm about to get inside the church when I notice that there is a wedding currently celebrated. I am bombshelled not on the beautiful wedding decorations, but struck on the presiding priest because he happens to be Reverend Father Rainier Christian Patuan. That was really a jaw-dropping reality. I couldn't imagine a very naughty boy way back in his high school days has now become a priest. Hindi pa nga ako nakarecover sa pagiging priest ni Rainier. I am very much surprised again after knowing that the newlywed couple are none other than Juniper Amion and Tyra Zobiga. That's really a big revelation. I couldn't imagine how the two became lovers. I find out that Juniper is currently the Cebu City Chief Engineer and her wife Tyra is a big-time family lawyer of the Ayalas and Aboitiz. The newlywed couple invites me to attend the wedding's reception. At the reception, I notice somebody gazed fixedly and intently towards me. She is really stunning in her extravagant, streamlined, embellished with tired ruffles blue dress. My heart starts pumping as our eyes meet. I think I already found that something missing in me. I think she's the missing piece in my puzzled life. As I examine her figure, I discover that the ever-gorgeous woman is Hennessy Barra. I learned that Hennessy is already the secretary of the Department of Education. She obtained her doctorate degree in philosophy of education at Massachusetts Institute of Technology. Wow, I think I'm in love now. I only stayed for 15 days in the Philippines since I have many things to do back home in New York. But that short trip trip was amazing and astonishing. Getting to see some old friends and heard good news about the others. I reminisced and just realized that my alma mater was indeed like a huge factory of leaders and great individuals. Moreover, I am proud to be one of them. Now, I come to a decision that I will not leave my heart in the Philippines, but rather bring it together with me in order for me to feel wholeness and satisfaction. What a wonderful future we have, isn't it? As the saying says, there's only one success: to spend your life in your own way. Through living your life, but by what your heart says, there will sure be happiness. For happiness can be found in your heart, not in money, not in power. Build your way and reach for the top. How I wish this prophecy will turn out into reality. By God's grace and perseverance, this prophecy will be achieved. But always remember, you should not limit yourselves in the prophecy, but you should explore your life and achieve what your heart really wants. Do not depend on your efforts alone, but always acknowledge His grace. Always pray to God for His guidance, for with God, nothing is impossible. But a warning to heed: do not put your success in your head. Baka mahydrocephalus. Humility is the key. See you in the year 2036, guys. Thank you so much, and have a good evening.
Wow, that was a heartwarming story. Sir Joseph, where are you?
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, since you are one of their teachers, what can you say about them, or what is your message that will captivate their heart?
Yeah, so I went, no. It's been